a lot has changed since we saw you last, but you knew they were going to make a move there. Just what has been your attitude coming in the building this week?
Man, just get better, honestly. Every single day, just work, no matter what's thrown in front of me. Every opportunity I got to just better myself and help the team out in any way, that's what I'm looking forward to do.
Anthony, what have your interactions been like so far with Daniel Jones, and how do you think that relationship will be when you're teammates, but you're also competing for the starting job?
No, it's cool. We had a couple conversations so far, but I'm looking forward to learning a lot from him. He's been in the league for a good little minute, had ups and downs throughout his career, so I'm looking to learn as much as I can from him while we just, push this competition and just get better.
What does it mean to you to have an offseason where you can just focus on throwing and not have to worry about rehab?
It honestly felt great, just getting back into like a smooth rhythm, getting back into, just training the right way and just making sure my arm and everything was good, making sure I was running and everything. So it was a fun offseason for me, putting that work in.
Do you feel like you've made significant strides so far?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm still working to do that, trying to be consistent and keep building on what I worked on this offseason. When it comes to like footwork stuff and not panicking, in the pocket and just being, comfortable and just letting my arm work.
Is there a time you can look back on where you've had to compete to get on the field, and how do you feel like that played out for you?
Man, a lot of times. I think back to high school, I kind of had a battle to get my starting job in high school. Even in college, competing with Emory Jones my sophomore year, trying to get that spot. It was an ongoing battle throughout the whole year. But, competition, that brings the best out of you, and, that's just how life works. You just got to compete and just get better, because somebody else to the right, left, or even in front of you, trying to outwork you and just be better than you. So competition, I love it.
Can you tell us about the work you did during the off-season, how that went, what you did?
Main thing, making sure my body was healthy. That was the biggest thing for me. But also like footwork stuff. Being able to just stay calm in the pocket. That was really one of the main things I wanted to focus on, because everybody knows I can throw the ball whenever I'm smooth. But I want to find like opportunities for myself to be consistent when I am off balance. Make decent throws, and even when everything is perfect, making sure my feet are intact and my width, my base is solid, and I'm just completing the pass.
How different was that work this year than last year, coming off the surgery?
No, it was definitely different. I was thinking about it like last offseason, just trying to get back. I was just trying to make sure my arm was just able to just go so I can just get the ball out. But this year, we were working more like mechanic stuff, kind of like not necessarily like redefining my mechanics, but tweaking it a little bit and make sure everything was smooth.
Shane has consistently said, like, the guy who's the most consistent is going to win. I'm sure he told you that. How do you get from where you have been to being more consistent? Because I think, right, it's about not having the ups and downs.
Right.
What's keeping you from being that guy, I guess?
Man, honestly, I think it's the mindset, and just knowing like every single day is a day for progress. Even if things aren't, going the best way, each and every day, it's still, opportunity for me to grow and get better and just be consistent in any little thing, So I'm looking forward to just finding every little detail I can work on, every single day, and just continue to work towards it. Even if I do have a bad day, still a chance for me to grow.
Do you think technique is a big part of that too?
I'm sorry.
The footwork is a big part of that?
Yeah, no doubt. As a quarterback, people, of course, have live arms, and they can spin the ball, but, it starts from the ground up, the foundation. And if your footwork and your base is solid, then, the rest take care of itself.
What did a typical day look like for you this off-season in terms of your training?
Get some breakfast in, of course, get the body fueled up. We would switch it up from days, but normally just throwing, sprinting, lift, a little bit of mental stuff, going through the playbook and all that good stuff. So kind of like a base, like off OTA day here, but, just down in Florida.
Just to make sure, I know last time we saw you had the back issue. You're past that, and is that something that could linger, or how are you, I guess, physically?
Nah, I'm definitely feeling good. I was able to do a lot of training. A lot of great work was done in Florida. But I'm just trying to stay on my maintenance plan. Before I didn't really have a plan to like take care of my back because I didn't really even know about it. But like now I have like things to stay on top of that and just prevent simple and minor injuries like that.
So it's like an ongoing thing that you're doing to just like preventative measures?
Yeah, just preventative stuff. It's not like it's still lingering or anything. Like, of course, time to time you lifting and stuff, you feel a little tightness, but it's just life. It comes with it.
You mentioned a couple times, being calm in the pocket. Is that just kind of like when you realize where to throw it, not getting excited, kind of like being in rhythm? Like, is that what you mean?
Really a little bit of everything, you know. For one, just being confident in the play, you know, and making sure I know and I'm being, you know, smart enough when I am making decisions out there. And then just like knowing what to do and knowing where to go with the ball, you know. All that, you know, plays a part in it. And just like I said, just being calm, you know, all of that ties into it. And you know, just completing the ball, that's really the main thing. And if I am calm enough with my footwork, you know, I can make it happen.
Did you get to work out with anybody down in Florida? Did any of your receivers come out, tight ends, any of that?
I was trying to get the guys out there, but we really like to get the work done before training camp. You know, really like take a deep dive into the whole offensive playbook and just get it going.
You did work out with Josh Allen this offseason, right?
Not true.
No.
Yeah, not true.
How motivated or disappointed are you that going into your third year that you're not the clear Colts starting quarterback?
Man, it's different. You know, everybody can look at the situation differently. You know, I would just like to say I'm blessed. You know, honestly, I still have an opportunity to be in the NFL. I still have an opportunity to go out there and compete and win the job for this team. So I'm just blessed, and I'm excited to just continue to work. And you know, it kind of feels like I just got drafted again. You know, I'm just excited to still be here. You know, like I said, I'm blessed, man.
Shane and Chris have not hidden that they felt like preparation focus was not on point for you last year. Was that a fair criticism? And do you take that personal at all when they go to like work ethic and stuff like that?
I definitely don't take it personal. You know, if they see something that I need to improve on, you know, I got to take it on the chin and just go and improve on that aspect. You know, and that's just with anything I do. Like even if I am scoring touchdowns or whatever, like maybe I could have, you know, did something a little better on that play to, you know, make the outcome a little easier. You know, so I definitely don't take it personal. You know. I definitely, you know, love working. I love getting better. So whenever there's an opportunity for me to, you know, go and chase that, you know, why not do it?
Is it motivating then, though, to show that you are that guy?
Yeah, no doubt. You know, not necessarily motivating, but you know, it's exciting. Of course, like embarking on a new journey and just growing as a person, as a player, and just getting better. You know, that's just amazing.
Anthony, I think last year, I think you mentioned that you put on weight or whatever. Have you changed at all, cutting weight going into this year or not?
To be honest, I haven't necessarily like put on weight or lost any weight. Honestly, my weight been pretty much the same since I got drafted. You know, of course, I was like bulked up a little bit or leaned up a little bit. You know, depending on however you know somebody sees it. But you know, my weight's been probably the same.
Last question. You can learn from Daniel Jones. You know, he was a high draft pick, had some ups and downs, and looking for redemption here. So I guess how do you learn from him?
Man, honestly, the main thing I want to learn from him is like how to navigate. You know, how to navigate. You know, the pressure of everything. How to navigate. You know, when things aren't going the best, how do you just stay with it and stay focused and just keep grinding, and also just, you know, how to work. You know, I think he's a smart guy, so I'm looking forward to just, you know, learning everything that he has to offer and, you know, just getting better as a team.
This is the biggest year of your career so far?
Every year has been a big year for me, so I'm excited.